You've been, helped a lot. We'll find out tomorrow when we do that catheterization what was in the midst of taking place.
Okay.
But so far, the amount of damage is minimal. We may not know what abruptly causes all heart attacks, but what's so important is when it does occur that you act quickly, because then you can intervene to prevent death and damage. And you certainly, with damage, have had minimal damage on this admission. So very good.
Great.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you. Hi, Phil. How you doing?
Dr. Barr, I'm fine.
How you feeling today?
Pretty good.
Okay.
No pain.
You came in today, Monday. You came in Saturday, correct?
Saturday about 3.
3 o'clock. And you had some chest discomfort. You want to
Yes,
show us
I did.
where in your chest the...
Across the chest and in the back. Well, it felt more like a squeezing.
When you got this, was it severe to begin with, or was it
No,
mild?
it wasn't real severe. It was mild. And I
How-
had it in my arms also.
How long was that mildness present before it became severe?
It didn't get to be real severe.
Uh-huh.
I came in here right away.
And what period of time you saying right away? Within a half an hour?
Well, less than a
Less
half an
than-
hour because I only live around the corner.
I see. So you came in quick.
Yes.
Why do you think you came in quick? What made you decide to come in
Because I had this experience before. I had a heart attack 8 years ago.
8 years ago?
And everything was explained to me then. I got in just in time to take the drug that they gave me.
What they call a clot dissolver drug back 8 years ago.
Uh-huh.
But yet you've had no real tightness or chest pain in 8 years,
No,
and when this occurred, you knew enough to act.
right. But I also knew that I shouldn't be smoking.
Okay. So you've been smoking as a risk
Yes,
factor.
I have.
I see.
I quit for about 2 years after I had the first attack.
You say this discomfort was mild, but enough to...
Enough that I knew it wasn't going to go away.
You came in early.
Mhm.
You were given a blood dissolving agent. It
Right.
probably prevented the full heart attack.
Right,
And the mere fact it came back a little bit means that it has not done its full effect.
right,
So now may be the time to find out what's blocking that vessel
right.
and take advantage of intervention to prevent damage from taking place. Right.
So hopefully everything will work out.
Do women have as many heart attacks as men? Do
I don't think so. I really don't. Although, from what I've read in the papers here lately, it's going up, the statistics
Why do you
for
think it's
women.
going up?
I don't know.
Do you
Pace
think
of
they're...
living, I'd say.
Okay, so how about the different risk factors and things? You think smoking contributes significantly to having heart attacks?
Smoking?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
So we hope to help correct the problem, and we're going to get you back.
I hope.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll, I'll throw away the cigarettes.
Okay. And heart attacks present that way as sort of a abrupt, prolonged type discomfort. It may not be severe, but it's prolonged. Another way in which it can present is it can come on mild and stutter, come and go for a period of time. Either way, the important thing is to recognize it and to act and to come in early, like Cecilia did. And the earlier you come in, the more we can do. Many drugs, and not only to dissolve clots and things like that, but if there's any complications, to handle those as well. So, you think you were scared, or you just you were
Yes,
just
I
as...
was scared.
Uh-huh.
I'll
You
tell
think that's
that.
what led you to...
That led me to get in
Yeah.
here real
Now,
fast.
you came in by private car or by ambulance?
No, private car.
Car, right. So you had somebody, what,
Yes,
friend or
my
rel-
daughter was there.
Is to, you call her quickly and then
Well, she was right there with
in-house?
me.
Uh-huh.
We were having some things done at the house, and she was right there too. So
So you didn't sort of give reasons for it, or deny it, or do something else and hope that would go away? You just took the bull by the horns?
No, I knew it wasn't going to go away.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I knew that.
And you knew it because
I
you had
could-
had it before,
Right.
and because you were
Right.
educated
I
that
knew when it went down my arms, I wasn't going to get rid of it.
the best way to prevent damage is to come in early.
Right.
Well, I think you did the right thing, Cecile. Very
Oh,
good.
I'm
Appreciate
glad I
you.
did.
Appreciate your comments. Thank you. Mrs. Green was a person who 3 years ago experienced chest pain for the first time. And it was severe pain and was prolonged and made her very weak, and she passed out. Her mother, who was with her, realized that she was seriously ill, called the paramedics, and the paramedics, upon arriving, found the patient awakening and not having as much chest discomfort at that time, and then had trouble believing that the patient was in the midst of a heart attack or having significant chest pain, and actually walked out and left her standing there. The patient knew that something was wrong. The symptoms came back, and both she and the mother made a decision to go directly to the hospital using the son who was nearby. Now, I think that points out a number of different points. Many times symptoms of a heart attack are mild or not really that severe, and they don't get proper respect. So there's discrimination about the type of symptoms you're having. Many Americans do not know that heart attacks have beginnings, and that in many cases these beginnings are mild, are recognizable, but don't take the time. In Mrs. Green's case, she did have prolonged pain and knew that something was wrong, but the paramedics coming upon the scene had difficulty accepting the fact that she was having a heart attack. So not only is there discrimination when patients are having milder forms of chest discomfort, but women in general, when they're having chest discomfort, are not believed. And I think that was brought out by Mrs. Green's mother, who summed it up beautifully by saying that the reason they didn't believe she was having a heart attack was because she was a woman. And that floored me because of the fact that we now recognize it because we read the New England Journal of Medicine. But Mrs. Green's mother never, I'm sure, has read an issue of the New England Journal of Medicine, yet she knew and has experienced that type of discrimination in the outside the hospital. The fact that that when women are having symptoms of a heart attack, that that women just don't have heart attacks. Therefore, you know, why believe one? Despite the fact this the patient was having severe pain and actually passed out. So there's discrimination because of symptoms. There's discrimination because of being a woman. And there's also discrimination by the paramedics who, finding the patient awake and alert, have difficulty understanding that this patient may be having a difficulty. Paramedics are much more comfortable when the patient has had a cardiac arrest or is having severe pain because they can recognize it. But yet when a person is having mild discomfort or discomfort has gone away, perhaps they don't take enough time out to get a more accurate history and to respect the fact that heart attacks have beginnings, and that if you're going to do something about it, you got to do it at that early stage. And I think across America, we don't give it proper respect. And that's why it's number one in terms of killing people. 600,000 people each year in the United States. That's more people killed each year than all the soldiers killed in all the American wars. You know, we were upset with the war in Kuwait with 200 people dying. 600,000 deaths each year in the United States. That should be treated as the war at home. And we have to be just as patriotic about doing something about it, especially when we can do something about it, when we can accept the fact that heart attacks have beginnings and that we have to do something at that stage. And I think in Mrs. Green's case, she was able to show the fact that the paramedics coming upon the scene could not believe that she was in the midst of a heart attack. Indeed, she was. She came into the hospital. She had an extensive amount of injury and was given a thrombolytic therapy and was immensely helped. The second time around, which is 3 years later, her present admission, she came in within a half an hour. She came in directly within a half an hour. She knew that these symptoms were similar to before, and she was not going to waste any time. And she was here within a half an hour. Again, she was helped with thrombolytic therapy. It also points out that heart attacks present different ways. One way is they occur abruptly and become prolonged and become severe within a short period of time. The other way is they have a more milder presentation and it stutters, it goes away. And this is bad because it lulls people into thinking that if it went away, it's going to stay away, and they hope and pray that it stays away, that it's not going to interfere with what they're doing. And this stuttering presentation seems to get us into trouble, and we have trouble recognizing and giving proper respect. But it's still identifiable, because if you can have someone tell you they're having chest discomfort in the middle of their chest, it's not pinpoint where you can point it out, but it's non-localizable across the chest. It comes with activity relieved by rest. Sitting down takes it away, and it keeps coming back. That's identifiable enough to come in early, and it's okay to come in. One anecdote here is the fact that we've had many patients come to the emergency room and see this sign, emergency room, and literally walk away because of the fact that their pain is perceived as not severe enough to cause a problem or to come into the emergency room. And then within the emergency room, there are many people with the Gomer mentality: get out of my emergency room unless you have severe pain. We have to undo that if we are ever to make a dent in the mortality with 600,000 deaths each year in the United States. We have to recognize that heart attacks have beginnings, that it's okay to come in when symptoms are mild, even though they're stuttering. And if it abruptly occurs and becomes prolonged, you've got to get in within a very short period of time, as is in Mrs. Green's case. And she did that the second time around. She was not going to waste time like she did the first time. The second patient is a person who's a little elderly, up in age, with recognizable symptoms. And what's interesting is that she had these symptoms 9 years ago and had a heart attack. So she knew what the symptoms were all about. Interesting enough, she never had these symptoms for 9 years. But when these symptoms came back, she knew right from the very start that they were coming from the heart, and she was having a blockage. She got in within a half an hour. She knew what was happening because, as she stated, she was knowledgeable because she was taught that it's important to come in when symptoms occur like that. What also happened in her case, she tried her best to give up one of the other risk factors, cigarette smoking. Tried for 2-3 years, and then started smoking again. And one of the first comments she made up there was the fact that she knew that she was prone to having another heart attack because she kept smoking. She couldn't break the habit. And I wonder if she had some guilt feelings that when the symptoms came on, she wanted to act quickly to prevent damage from taking place, which is interesting because primary risk factors of cholesterol elevation, hypertension, and cigarette smoking will get you to have a heart attack over a long period of time. But when you're having one, these risk factors are not the determinants of what happens to you. What determines what happens to you is what you do when the event starts to unfold. So it's possible to sin all your life and do bad things, but when the event starts to unfold, the cursor of your life, that you take action and you can actually come in literally and prevent damage from taking place, and hopefully once again be reconditioned and take on better lifestyle in terms of trying to reduce the risk factors that got you there. People are more apt to change once they've been burnt. And we think the chest pain experience is like a transforming point. It's a teaching lesson, and people get the message.